winds of change, they call my name and beckon, come, just like a moth to a flame.
Trying to get a little more level. Okay, I got trains going by, I'm closer to the road than I want to be, and I got neighbors running farm equipment. It's like everything's just trying to be noisy and interfere with it. But we're going to show some setups where I'm going to camp on the ground with what setup I'm going to do. So this is an area where I would be willing to camp on the ground. It's relatively flat and all that. You recognize this. This is the kit that I had. So in here I had my camp set with my bug net, but we're not going to use that. And my hammock, we're not going to use that. I have my rain fly, and we'll use that. This rain fly is really nice. It's a double-sized one, so it allows it to work as if it were a tarp, and we can make an improvised pup tent with it. So that's what we're going to do. This is kind of a pup tent setup. We're going to use the tent pegs that are with it. If you were going to do this with a tarp, I'd say get a little, some kind of carry, bring a few tent stakes with you. Let me take this off. Now, went to Dollar Tree and got some stuff that'll be used for part of the setting up. This little spray bottle is the cinnamon concoction for bugs. But in testing, for me, worked pretty well. So, right now, I'm going to put some on. Now, from the Dollar Tree, we have some of their paracord. It claims it's $5.50. I don't know. It's in print, but doesn't mean I trust it. Now, because I showed you when I set up my hammock that the rainfly has tie-outs with cords that I use as for the ridge line, so putting ridge line. But since we're going to use this in a tarp type thing, I'm not going to go with that because you may not have that. Now, if I'm going to be sleeping in here, ideally I would like it somewhere around my nipple height, a little below armpit. What I'm going to tell you to do for this is I'm going to pass the working in here around, come through, cross over and back through, and bring up a loop. And that makes the knot that I really like to use. Okay? You could put a toggle in there, pull it tight, and go with that. I'm not going to worry about getting it super tight right now because I'm not sure what height I'm going to want it. We're going to pull some line out, cross over, bring it through, pull a loop over, put this inside, tighten that loop. Once it's tight, I can adjust this like you would adjust a pressure. So I'm not going to refer this to rainfly, I'm going to take my tarp. And I'm going to throw the tarp over my ridge line. up there. So, like I said, I wanted you to bring a few tent stakes with you. You can always carve tent stakes while you're out here. If you're spending time in the woods, you've made your own tent stakes. I'm going to come pull this corner out to, well, to me it seems like about a 45, and stake it down. And then I want to bring this to about that same distance and stake it down. So at this point, it's going to be all about dressing this to the height, tension, all that I want. Yeah, if this annoys me, which right now it's annoying me, just pull a loop, turn around. Quick little knot. And you don't trust the knot for whatever reason. You didn't trust it. You just stick a toggle in it. But I got that plenty tight. And this looks good. I'll adjust that later on. Or I could just pull another tent peg and stake this out. But the way it goes right now, I'm pretty happy with it. I can sleep in there. We'll lower the tripod a bit. So, all I have to do now, put my ground cover down. If you want to put branches on, you could. If you've got any kind of a ground sheet, throw that down. Put your bedding, and you're good. I can't fully sit up in this, but I've got plenty of room. So this will be a place to go to the ground. Of course, this isn't super smooth, but I'll be having this set for a bed tonight. I've got a half of a black walnut shell. Throw that out. So, with the Rainfly tarp, one quick shelter. Doesn't take up much room. Roll up your tarp, a little bit of cordage, we have a shelter. So, one tarp, a little bit of rope, a couple tent stakes, we have a quickie shelter. We're going to go set up another one. Got a couple things to show you. We're going to do that again in this area. So from my Dollar Tree video that we just put in, or Dollar Tree Outdoor, another thing of paracord, and a 9x12 plastic drop cloth. So $2.50 for this together. So let me get into the paracord. Now this is 25 feet of paracord. I'm going to set this here in the crotch of this tree. Eyeball that is level. Get that knot tight. I can pinch it. And then 9-foot by 12-foot drop cloth. Again, $1.25, so we're talking a $2.50 setup right now. Put my trash over here in the bag I carried it in. Now, I just set the Rainfly tarp up as a top tent configuration. What I'm going to do now is open this up. I want the 12-foot to go from my ridge line towards where the camera is, and I want the narrow 9-foot end to go between the trees. I'm going to open this up. What I'm going to look for now is a way to set this up easily. So I'm going to find some kind of a fallen branch I could weigh this with. That's outside my control. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the top of this, pull it back over a little bit, just a little. You may notice this wants to fly. These are very light rain flies, very lightweight. But for an emergency use thing, can't beat it. Now I need a couple of straight, skinny sticks. So I'm going to go find a couple of straight, skinny sticks. Probably about my armpit height. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to pull this tarp from up here, wrap just a little bit around it. So this is a disposable painter's drop cloth, 9x12. Take one corner, pull around, I'm going to tie something in a knot, and lay it back here. And I'll take my other one. Okay, granted it's not super straight, so I'm trying to do this fast. So my friend is blowing in the wind. I don't want this blowing in the wind too. Now it shows it's level. That means I don't have this even, but it doesn't matter because I'm not sleeping where the ridge line is. I'm sleeping down there. The next setup I'm going to do is just right next to it. Let me move the camera. Let's see. That one's in the frame. That one's in frame. So this is what we're going to do next one. More stuff from the Dollar Tree. In this setup, I always had extra cordage. We're just going to use that extra cordage right now. Okay, so again from the Dollar Tree, this is a small tarp. It's 4 foot by 6 foot. Really tiny, isn't it? But in a have-to situation, it's there. And hopefully, if you're in this situation where you have to do it, you have some cordage, and hopefully you got a couple tent pegs with you. So we would want to set this up in a lean-to configuration. Now I'm 6 foot tall, so no matter how I set this, I'm going to have to kind of sleep in fetal position. So consider the distance between the trees. So here's 4 foot wide. Not too bad. And there's 6 foot. That would work really good. So if I put it down here, which I will do, we'll set our lean-to about this height. I'm going to take my little piece of cordage here, just tie a quick little lazy knot. Take it to this tree. I'm going to tie it at waist level real quick. I'm going to just loop it. I'm not really going to tie it. Make a loop back through. Pass it through. Again, that'll let me put a toggle in there. I do really like me some toggles. They make all this stuff a lot easier. It's just not quite long enough to go around. I have some extra cord over here. Let me grab. Actually, I got some extra cord right here. I'm just going to extend this a little bit of that. What I should probably do is find me some Virginia creeper and set it up with that. I may do that in the future just for fun of it. Do this lean-to, but improvise the cordage from Virginia creeper. I don't like that idea. waist high, and the other one's too high. So let me go lower it. So, now the person who was responsible for me doing this was suggesting about on the ground. That was his interest about being more on the ground. Now I need to get this peg back. Let me run over here at the tree. So I've got a couple little hooks to help catch it. We're going to quickly sharpen this. This has grommets. Limited number because of the size, but it has grommets. So I use the grommets and peg it into the ground. But it still went. You see it's very rough. I'm going to sharpen this end and peg it. I would not recommend this knife under normal circumstances. Just from the Dollar Tree. There are other knives I would recommend over it. But this is to show you what you can do. Let me get this open. It says it is an 8-in-1 multi-use knife. So it's got the corkscrew, it's got a nail file, a Phillips screwdriver, a can opener that I question how well it would work, a bottle opener, standard screwdriver, and a knife. If I sharpen this, it'd probably be I can make it halfway decent. Well, looks like it does all right, doesn't it? It certainly works better than not having a knife. Might be kind of rough, but I bet you I could fillet a fish with this. I know I could skin animal. Okay, so I'm going to close this now. Put a ring on it. Put a carabiner on it. You clip it to your belt. So for what we would invest, we got $5, or we got $2.50 for 2 things of paracord. $3.75 including that one drop cloth, and $5 including this knife. Where are we looking at now? Let me go peg that back. We're set up in the glen. This is Sean's little cove where we're doing this part. Setting the other one up is over in the area where I would normally set a hammock up, but I'd do that a lot further out. I'll be back later. have to go visit a friend for the evening, play games. I'll come back and spend the night. So you get to come spend the night with me too once I get back. I will have a cot. I'll show you that. We'll set it up. So I'll have to have light for that. And I showed you a lantern. I didn't bring one out here with me. I'll have one of those that will hang up when we do this out here. So, 3 setups. We have a lean-to, a C-type shelter made with a 9x12 painter cloth. And we have an A-frame pup tent thing made with my rainfly to make with a tarp. So for under $10, other than the price of that big tarp, you can do pretty much everything we got here. About, I don't know, let's just call it $12 when you add batteries and any incidentals you find. You might want to find some kind of food. Alright, this is Rich. I'm headed up. Gotta get ready to go over to Wanda's. We're gonna play some card games. This is something I got at the Dollar Tree, for $1.25. Already got his pain relieving gel, but it has methyl salicylate. Woo! Clear your sinuses, but should repel bugs. So I'm going to be playing to see how that works too. I'm going to set over here. We're at